We appreciate your support, Roger.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Good morning. Oh, wow. Okay. It is a pleasure to be up here and to always love the Insider Summits, the email Insider Summits especially, and to get to talk and have discourse with really some of the best minds in the email industry over a few days. So thanks for having me on stage. And today I'm going to talk about the ability in email to dream something up, to conjure up something that can really move the needle and to actually be able to execute that, which is increasingly harder and harder to do in the email space. We're going to talk a little bit about that, why it's harder and what we can do about it. Customers are more demanding than ever. I think this is just a fact. Customers are expecting personalized experiences today across the board. You know, when the current popular slate of email technologies were developed in the middle of the last decade, batch and blast was really the way to go. And consumer expectations were to receive batch and blast emails. That's just not the case anymore, because when they experience brands outside of the email channel, they experience incredible personalized experiences. Chick-fil-A is another Atlanta company, and outside of being a great client and having the world's best chicken sandwiches and waffle fries, they really do a great job with cross-channel personalization. I'm a very loyal customer, and I have their app, and it's amazing how it engages me with the store I go to most often. They know me by name when I go there. I get personalized emails, which gets me back to engage with the app, which gets me back in the store. And it's really an incredible brand-enhancing experience, what Chick-fil-A has been able to do. Ebates is another customer, and they are in the business of delivering specials to their members. So they use algorithms to figure out which discounts might be best for you based on your behavior and history. But when you're in Macy's, they will actually send you a push notification to remind you that you have a 10% discount in Macy's, right? Which makes you more engaged with their emails when you get them, because you're not being intruded upon with their messaging, but you're being actually helped in a very profound way. So I love this quote by Brandon Witcher, which is, each time a customer is exposed to a digital experience, an improved digital experience, their expectations for all digital experiences after that are reset to a new higher level. I think this is just intuitively true, right? But the problem is with email, we have not kept up with that. This is a Forrester report that says consumers' experiences with email, how they grade email as being personalized for them, has not improved since 2012. There certainly has been a lot of technology improvements since 2012. So why is this? And I'll just talk about some examples first. Walter Rowland, one of my fellow gearheads here, just made a purchase at, let's say, an international retailer. He's a loyalty member there. He bought something online, got his shipping notification, and 2 days later got an email from that same retailer that said, "Where have you been? We've missed you. Come back to our website and buy something." Very disconcerting for him. He's like, "Am I being phished? Should I delete the email? Did I not buy something? Did something go wrong?" It should have been a very engaging experience, but instead it actually hurt the brand image in his head. Another gearhead who works for Will Devlin, who's in the back there, who runs marketing for us, was telling this story. We were talking about bad experiences with email. Unfortunately, there's just too many of them. He bought him and his wife Beyonce and Jay-Z tickets, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, and very excited, and spent a lot of money to do so. And the next day, gets an email from the ticket vendor saying tickets are still available. And so he's really worried. Concert sold out at this point, right? So he logs back in feverishly. Yeah, sure enough, he did buy the tickets. But why are they sending an email to the same email address that bought the tickets saying they're still available? Why not send an email that says, here are restaurants close by. Here's things you can do before the concert. Here's places you can park. Maybe make a dime if you want. But increasingly, and it's far too common, that consumers get poor email experiences. And I don't think it's the fault of anybody in this room necessarily. Certainly not the email marketers in this room. It's not a lack of innovative ideas or things you want to do. It's like you are limited by the technology you have at your disposal. From where your customer data lives to where you're able to actually use your technology to send out email campaigns, it's just difficult to create personalized experiences at scale in real time. And the problem is, because of this data disconnect, and if you indulge me ever so briefly to be a little bit wonkish on the data side, email's unique. Unlike your brethren across the floor from you that are doing programmatic advertising, let's say, you rely on your customer database to send effective email. On one hand, you have an advantage, right? Because you know who your customers are, names and addresses, credit card numbers, purchase history, all this really incredible PII data that sits behind your firewall that you have access to, and you can send incredibly personalized, you should be able to send incredibly personalized experiences based on that. The problem is the software that you use to do that in 98% of the cases for the people in the room is SaaS software that lives in the cloud outside of your firewall. So your data, rightly so, is locally. All you guys are enterprise marketers. You have lots of data, and it's complex, and there's PII, and there's GDPR concerns. So you're storing it where it needs to be stored. But you're using an email system that doesn't live on that data. So you're forced to work with a system that gets a copy of your data, usually 24 or 48 hours after the fact, and you're having to pay twice. You're paying to store your data locally and paying to store it in your cloud. It doesn't really make sense on the face of it, and that's certainly our worldview. And if you're a super sender, that's what we call clients that spend, customers, prospects that spend 20, 25 million emails a month or more. We certainly have clients that send 1 billion emails a month or more. But if you're a super sender, this just doesn't work. If you're a mid-market sender, then this isn't as big of a disconnect. So the old way, and it wasn't limiting, again, in the middle of the last decade when these software technologies were developed, the old way is great for batch and blast. But if you want to send personalized emails at scale, from a marketer's perspective, if you want to blast out 20 million emails and send out 500,000 versions of that same email based on who the consumer is and what their history is, and you want to do it in real time, that data disconnect is too limiting, and you end up with the experiences that I described before. So when your data sits, your ESP sits on top of your data for both targeting, audience creation, as well as doing dynamic content based on real-time data, it creates a lot of happiness across the board. The great thing about this is it's a win-win. I mean, certainly the marketers in the room are happy, right? Because you can dream up an idea and actually execute it. You have every piece of data that your company owns at your fingertips for your email campaigns, and it's your live data. Your IT guys love it because they have spent time cultivating this. As a reformed engineer, I can make fun of myself by putting that image up there. But they've spent this time and energy and money creating this 360-degree view of the customer for internal use, and they don't want to spend their time and money copying that up to somebody else's cloud just to send email, and then in a very rigid way, it's ETLs and data transformations, and it's a pain in the rear. Your CFO is going to love you because this is when you don't have to store your data twice. You're already paying to store your data. Why pay money to store it in the cloud as well in a way that doesn't enrich that data? But most importantly, your customers are going to love you because you're sending better emails, more timely emails, more targeted and engaging emails, and delivering great consumer and brand experiences. So when you're on your way to work in the morning and you get a great idea of, I wish I could do X, whether X is, saying, God, somebody bought those, those brown boots are flying off the shelves, and we should send out follow-up emails to people who bought those boots who haven't bought belts. Or you say, I want to send an email to folks who have reserved hotels in ski resort areas and have to follow up with rental car SUVs or, links to be able to get ski lift tickets or rent equipment, or whether, you want to show really unique dynamic content. But the idea that you come up with something, you say, I can execute this today. I can do a test. I have access to the data. There's nothing limiting the marker and holding me back because I don't have to call IT. I don't have to have a multi-departmental exchange to be able to come up with an idea, execute it, test it, and see how it works. A couple examples of this for our clients. Ebates is a customer, as I mentioned before, and they were really struggling to do dynamic content in their welcome series. The way they had their data set up and the way they were structured internally. They installed our platform and were able to launch a welcome series in a single day That was better than what they had spent the previous 9 months doing. 45% increase in engagement with new subscribers, and able to push what they called phase 2 of their email personalization 2 years in advance of what they thought they were going to have to do to redo their internal data systems to get to where they wanted to go. Expedia wanted to really increase, they were on one of the big marketing clouds, and wanted to increase the sophistication of their email programs, having these same challenges with using a marketing cloud to target in real time across tens of millions of customers. They're able to use our platform to send hyper-personalized messaging, and they saw not only a 100% boost in email ROI, and they're very scientific method testing in terms of how they do A/B testing, but their head of IT told me they spend 50% less energy and cost supporting our platform versus the previous marketing cloud. So our hybrid cloud technology, we have part that lives on premise and part that lives in the cloud. But that technology is, we like to call it email 3.0, and it's just a different, more efficient way of doing things across the board. And Nick Einstein here somewhere. Nick, our friends at the Relevancy Group say great things about us, whose job it is to be impartial across the board. But I love this quote: virtually everyone we've ever spoken with has raved about the people and the technology at MessageGears. And they gave us a lot of top honors as well. So that's hybrid cloud technology, that's MessageGears. And I wanted to use this opportunity. We're thrilled to announce to the first time, this is actually, we haven't released this publicly, or we're going to be rolling this out to clients the next week or two, but we have a new product innovation. We're doing cross-channel orchestration in MessageGears platform for the first time natively, and we're super excited about this. We're launching, first of all, a brand new version of our what we call our orchestration product, our campaign orchestration product. And this great new open journey product, first of all, it's going to be completely native cross-channel. So you can do not only email, but you can send mobile push and SMS in an orchestrated way across our clients. What's great is you don't have to set up separate journeys for each of these. They're not disconnected. You can send them in an orchestrated way across the same individuals. You can do things like send them an email, and if they don't open it in 5 days, then follow up with a push message. If they do open it but don't click, send them this other email channel with a different call to action, but all within one journey. You can do personalized channels. So if somebody has raised their hand and said, I'd rather receive push messages than emails, then you can set up templates across all your channels and send them the preferred channel, or say send the channel where they're more likely to engage based on history. We have open journeys, and we love this. When we went out and talked to all of our clients and talked to prospects about what they love about their current journey product and what they don't love about it, one of the things that is most frustrating to them about their current product is the fact that journeys are closed loop systems. So if you don't enter in phase 1, you're never going to get to step 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And this is very limiting for how you set things up. And so you end up with 50 journeys, 75 journeys, and then it becomes unwieldy to manage. We have designed our product to where you can set it up where if you qualify for step 3 of a particular orchestration, then you just join that orchestration in step 3. And then I think something just as important is there's the lack of rigidity in our system. So I'm sure all of you have had frustrations with your current journey system where if you want to add a step or you want to change the template in phase 3, then you have to copy the whole journey and then create a copy of it and then make that change. And now you have 2 journeys doing essentially the same thing, but you have some people funneling through here and some people funneling through there. If you want to add step 7 or 8 in our product, do it. If you want to delete step 5, do it. And you can do all this with live audience counts. As a marketer, you can set up and do drag and drop audiences, figure out how many people will be eligible for this journey in every single step. And also, of course, for every step and every option in every step, you'll have analytics across people that are qualified for that and opens and clicks across all your different channels. So we are super excited about this new product. And we'd love to have everyone here get their hands on it. So, what we like to say, if you're a super sender and you have some frustrations or you have something that you've dreamed up but you're not able to do, let us know. And give us your toughest program. We're happy to give you a free trial of our product, and we'll install the product and let you have at it and show you how you can do something in a day that you most likely couldn't do or would take a lot of time and energy in multiple departments to get done. So dream and do. That's MessageGears. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.